Hey guys, so this video I'm going to show you how to run comps for like your listing appointments or even just in general if you want to know what a house should sell for. Let's say you're working with a buyer and they want you to run comps on it for some reason. You want to make sure it's going to appraise for what you're offering. So this is how I run comps on the listing side. This is how we get ready for our listing appointments. So starting in the MLS, you're going to go to, let's just say we're going to run comps on a specific property. Let's just say this one on Palmetto, but it could be any property, whatever house you're going to. If it's in the MLS, it's going to pop up. I look for the most recent thing that's happened. So whether it's sold or it expired or canceled, the reason I do that is because that's going to be the most recent photos and information from the last time that property was listed. So the most recent one for this house is in 2015. So I'm going to click on that listing. Here I can see all the information for that property. I can see all the photos. You have all the information on it. I also can see where it's at on the map. So that's what I'm really going to look for. So here's the house right here. So I'm going to zoom in, find out exactly where it's at. So this house is in Laurel Glen. It is close to the intersection of White Lane and Gosford and White Lane and Ash. It's right in between those on Palmetto Court. So what I'm going to do is up here in the top right-hand corner, this little square with an arrow, if I click on that, it's going to open a second MLS window. You're allowed to have two open at a time. So if I want to come back to this property, I can do that, or I can come into this one. Now I'm going to do a actual search. I'm going to do an interactive map search. So top left-hand corner, I scroll down to interactive map search. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find that area. So that is going to be right here. So here's White Lane and Gosford, Ash. Here's Palmetto Court right here. So right now the MLS is just going to show me the active listings. So that's what all these green little bubbles are. If I'm going to be running comps, I want to see all of the homes that have actually sold though in this area in the last 6 months. So in the top right-hand corner, I'm going to hit search criteria. Under statuses, I'm going to active under contract or already checked. I'm going to check the box for pending because I want to see any of the homes that are currently in escrow around that one. And then I'm also going to check sold. And then you can put your date. So mine is automatically set to go back 6 months from today. So the yellows, those are all the pendings. And then these dark purple or blue, these are all of the sold listings. So before I even look at any of them, so I know this is the area, the general area. When it comes to running comps, you have to look in the same area and you look at a really close radius, and then you can kind of expand from there. So what I do is I use the draw tool up here, the top left. You can do a circle right off of the house. I always just do a square, and then I drag and drop that area. And then it's going to eliminate all the other listings around it. Now, up in the top right-hand corner, there's this button that says Map Report. If I click on that, it's going to give me this list of all of the homes that are within the square that I selected. So all the actives, pendings, and solds. So I always make the map look good. You can zoom in on it a little bit. So I always try to make sure I can see the entire square in the map. I don't want to zoom in too far, then you can't see all of the listings. So I always do as big as possible. And then what I do is I print this form. This is my comp sheet that I'm going to take to the listing appointment. So before I even dive into any of these, now I have all the homes in this location. The next most important thing is going to be the square footage. So the home I'm running comps on is 1,125 square feet. So I'm going to look on this list. I'm going to highlight all of the sold listings that are within a few hundred square feet up or down. So this one is 1,100, I would probably go up to about 14 at the max, give or take, and then down to 800 if there's anything that small. I would highlight all of those ones. So I just look at the square footage. Don't look at bedrooms. Don't look at bathrooms. I just look at the square footage, and I find all of the homes that are within that square footage range, basically 800 up to 1,400. Those are going to be the comps that I'm going to look at and compare this property that I'm running comps on. Once I find out which ones to look at, then I go search those homes and I compare what I know mine has. Let's say I know it's been updated. It has a pool. It's got RV parking. It's all freshly updated. I'm going to go look and see what these other homes look like if they've been updated and see what they sold for. I'm going to look at the highest that sold, the lowest that sold, and what's in the middle. And that's going to give me my range of where I think it should go. Then when I prepare my net sheets, I'm going to do the high, the low, and then one about in the middle. I usually separate them by about $20,000 or so in between. And that's how I run comps. This is the sheet that I bring to the listing appointment, and I go over this with the sellers. That's how, and I will show them each one of the ones that I highlighted. Now, when it comes to actives and pendings, I don't highlight them because they're not technically comps yet. The pendings could be sold by the time we sell, or the actives, those are what's listed right now. So that's our competition on the market. So what I like to do is I'll underline those ones that are same thing. I look at the same square footage range. If it's too small or too big, it's not really competition because it's a different style house. But if it's within the square footage range, I'll underline those and I'll show the seller those ones as well. If there's something really similar, like this one is 1137, 3-bed, 2-bath. It's listed for 363, and it's right around the corner from this one. So this would be a direct competition listing or direct seller with ours. So I would show them what that one looks like. Is ours nicer? Is it not as nice? Should we be listed for more? Should we be listed for less? All right. So that is how I run comps. That's how you prepare for your listings.